We talk a lot about how our eyes become hooded with age. Something that also happens to our eyes is that the skin becomes less elastic and it starts to droop. My eyes were droopy to begin with, so now they are extremely droopy. So, I want to talk about some techniques that you can use with light and dark to help lift droopy eyes today. I'm Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty and Michelle Fox Online. I tried doing this in a TikTok video. I didn't really feel that it went that well, so I thought, let's redo in an actual full-length video. Let me demonstrate what I'm talking about. So, when the outer corner of your eye dips a little bit lower than the inner corner of your eye, that's a droopy eye. If it were higher than that, it would be an upturned eye. Mine has always been downturned, but then as my muscles get looser and the skin gets looser, it's drooping more and more. Something that I've noticed is that I like to put highlight all over my lid. And when I leave that light highlight all the way to that droopy corner, it does indeed draw your eye down to the lowest part of that droopy part of my eye. So, what needs to happen is a darker color needs to sort of cover up that droopy area so that your eye isn't drawn there. We're going to go through that technique. I'm just going to show you just how to very simply add your third color, your accent color, to this outer area of your lid. Then I'm also going to show you what I do with my liner. I've also done TikTok on that. I'm going to show you how I do my liner to also give it some lift. And then my final technique is, rather than focusing on an outer V, I really have been using more of a wall, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So we've got a lot of things to cover today. And I'm using a palette from Tarte that I got. They were having this really cool special where it was ridiculous, crazy good deal. Like, you got a palette and mascara and lipstick and foundation and a separate blush, all for like one low price. And I guess they do it every year. I've never done it before. This, I'll have to look. Let's see what this palette is actually called. This palette is called Inspire, and the colors are Admire, Beaming, Mindful, Elevate, Empower, and Deserve. These are the eye colors that are being used. So I put the lightest colors on my lid and just underneath my brow. I put like the matte, sort of a vanilla color. I put a little bit of the shimmery color on top of the vanilla, just underneath my brow. And then I took the medium matte mid-tone shade and did that just slightly above my crease. So that's really all I've done so far. What I want to do now is take a shade that's darker, more intense than a mid-tone, something I would consider my accent. And like I said, I want to cover up the tail end, the area of my lid that is pulling down. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to be putting it right here. And the reason why my TikTok video was a disaster is because I really can't see very well when I do these things, but particularly when I'm doing TikTok and I'm just using my phone and one small little light, and I've got nothing that magnifies anything. I am flying blind. So it was not looking pretty. So we just want to take like a darker color just in that outer area. And really we're just using the whole philosophy of bright and light brings things forward, dark pushes things back or hides or camouflages or minimizes. And so that's what we are trying to do in this droopy area out here. There's not like a real specific way to do it. I just kind of think of it as like the outer third maybe of my lid, and I'm just blend it in with the rest. So then now we don't have a light bright color drawing your eye down. This is sort of like a stop sign. It's preventing you from doing that. So in addition to that, I like to line my eyes. I use something dark on top. Today I'm going to use black. And when I line my eyes, I start higher than where my okay, how do I explain this? All right, so my eyelid and my lashes start way down here, but I'm not going to start there with my liner. I'm going to come up and pretty much go straight across to about the middle of my lid. I'm going to show you. I'll show and tell. So I'm starting like here, and then I'm just going to draw straight across. This part was a struggle for me then, and it is now too. Okay. When I'm in my regular environment, I have like 5 big lights. I'm not kidding. And my regular mirror is like magnifies even more than this one. So I'm hoping that like if I get cataract surgery that I'll wake up, or I guess you don't go under, do you? That I'll open up my eyes and I'll be able to see everything again. All right. So what I did is I start out a little higher. I go straight across to the middle of my lid, and then I fill in underneath, which in essence is making a cat eye, is sort of giving it a little tail at the end. And I don't go out too far. Again, I don't want anything out too far. I don't want anything down too low. Everything is about lift, visual lift. This also makes your lashes look thicker. And a lot of people say that as we age, we shouldn't line under our eyes. And if we do line under our eyes, we shouldn't do anything dark. I have mixed feelings about that. When I don't wear my glasses, I think I'm fine without lining under my eyes. But when I do wear my glasses, you don't see much of my lashes or my top liner. And so when there's nothing underneath either, it looks almost like I have no makeup on at all. So I usually will put something really dark on top and something a couple shades lighter on the bottom. And if you feel like you could never do this because you just don't have a steady hand, I seriously do not have a steady hand. You get it on there best you can, work with it. You can go over it then with a brush and some shadow that sets it really well also, and it will just kind of massage it into place. It's a work in progress. And honestly, once you have your mascara and everything, it's, people aren't going to notice that little tiny bit that it's off or that they don't match exactly. And you get better over time for sure. Okay, so we're going to call that good. Now I'll show you my wall. That I could use even darker. Maybe I will. Okay. So I'm going to do then with my wall is use an even darker shade than what I put out here. It's just a dark, dark brown. It's matte. And I'm going to line underneath. I don't go all the way. I just do it maybe like 2/3 of the way. Then I dip back in, make sure that it's, not going to, get all over the place, tap it off. And then from here, I'm going to draw a line up toward the tail of my brow. And then I'm going to just kind of fan that in. So instead of creating a V way out here, I've done more of a line, a wall, and then I'm bringing it in. The point of that is just, again, I don't want it to be too far outside because even that will tend to drag people's eyes down. And I make this look kind of like a funnel. It's wider at the top than it is at the bottom. I'm not adding any color to the brush. I'm just feathering out what's already on, the product that's already on. Does that make sense? Oh boy, I know what I'm talking about. All right, so again, I am lining underneath my eye, just about 2/3 of the way. And yes, I do use eyeshadow to line with quite a lot for, gosh, probably a few years. I didn't use traditional liner at all, but lately I've been having fun with traditional liner. I'm always mixing things up. All right, now I'm going to draw the line then from this corner of my eye up toward my brow. If you feel like you can't, if the line isn't quite defined, dip into your color again. And I'm not going all the way up to the brow. That's a little bit too much. And then we're feathering it in. And I'm doing a little broader sweep at the top than I am at the bottom. It looks like a Wi-Fi symbol, kind of. I probably should stop with the analogies. All right, and then you just wanna kinda work until they look balanced. I mean, they're never gonna be exactly the same, but you want them to be balanced. And just to show you my point about going over the liner with shadow, I can take this same brush and just go right over the liner that I laid down, and as I'm doing it, it's kinda moving it around. It's setting it so it lasts all day. It's not going to smudge or move. It also, if I'm putting a lighter shadow over it, it's gonna tone it down the color a little bit. But if I have any spot that, like, maybe I didn't connect quite right, it's, like, a little bit patchy, this is gonna help fill in those bare spots. So this is actually a smart thing to do. And you can just use shadow on top too. You don't have to use a traditional liner. All right, so let me see what I look like from here. Pretty good. So those are my tips. If you try them, let me know what you think, and I'm sure you have some suggestions as well. My parting thoughts are this. I am always discovering things that are changing as I age, and of course, my initial response is sadness. But don't stop there, okay? It's just pause and reflect. There's usually something you can do about it. So as long as I can do them, I am going to do them. And this to me is just a simple solution to something that we all face. So hopefully you find this helpful as well. So let me know in the comments what you got out of this. And if you have any other thoughts to add, I love to hear it. I personally respond to every single comment. If you are watching me on YouTube, please take a moment to subscribe to Michelle Fox Beauty. If you know someone that would benefit from this video, share it with them. If you're catching me on my blog, I hope you are subscribed to my newsletter so that we stay in touch. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next time.